Glad you could join us. Now, in our first story, scores of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold are this morning picketing the Economic and Organized Crime Office, IOCO, to demand that it discloses what is being done to the assets of NAM1, that is the Napiamenta, that have been seized. They say the past 8 months have left them in pain and suffering as all their funds have been locked up. We join MFA Nancy Juadosi, who is currently with the picketing customers of Men's Gold. MFA, what can you report now? Right, MFA, if you can hear me, what can you report from the scene of that demonstration?
So the meeting between the aggrieved customers, the leadership of the aggrieved customers and IOCO just ended. In fact, they just came to address the media. So prior to the meeting, they wanted IOCO to publicize, in value, how much the assets they have seized so far will cost, and also to tell the public what they have, and they understand that the account of Men's Gold was also frozen, and so they want to know how much is involved in all of that. But that did not come out all at the meeting because IOCO says it is not in their mandate to come out and tell anybody how much the property they have seized will cost. But what they were only able to assure them was the fact that they are just protecting the assets of NAM1 and that they have no authority whatsoever to even investigate or even prosecute an appearance and NAM1 that is on the run at the moment.
Right, thank you, Nancy. But before you go, beyond IOCO telling the customers that they are simply protecting the assets, what did the customers find out at that meeting?
Well, the customers also found out that, there was a communique that some members, one from IOCO, was going to go on delegation to Dubai for NAM1, but they were told that nobody from IOCO was because they are not investigating the matter. But I can say that after this meeting, the chairman of the aggrieved customers came out, and they're not satisfied with the comments or whatever they were told at the meeting. They say that they're going to hit the streets several times until government comes out to tell them something concrete, because as it stands now, they are just there and they are suffering and their monies are locked up, and nobody is telling them even the whereabouts of NAM1. And so they're going to continue with this series of demonstrations until their monies are paid back.
Now, we saw that earlier communique, Nancy, which said that the aggrieved customers will go to various state agencies which are involved in this matter. Did they indicate which state agency they'll go to next and when they would go there?
No, they haven't said anything like that. But what they gave a hint that with interactions with IOCO mentioned that it is only the Attorney General that will be able to carry out this investigation. And so they are saying that the Attorney General's office will be the next place they'll be petitioning, because they say that over the past few months, they have petitioned almost all the state agencies. And none of these agencies got back to them to give them any response. And so from here, the next place of the petitioning will be the Attorney General, since IOCO tells them that the Attorney General will be able to go after NAM1's property if NAM1 is unable to pay them.
Thank you very much, Nancy MFA Juadosi, for that update. We can now listen to some of these aggrieved customers.
Big men to IBI, and then some few big men at a cheaper cost. We want to know the various values of the assets. And by publication, we can tell whether those assets can pay us or cannot pay us. We know that they can do that. And that is why we are demanding IOCO to come up publicly. This can no more be a private issue. It's a public matter, and it should be handled as such. We need this issue to be handled as a public matter, and public hearing should be given to it.
We know that earlier you had petitioned them several times. Did you hear anything from them?
No, we have petitioned them severally. They've not heard from us. When we went there, we had a meeting with them. They said the investigation was undergoing. But till now, we've not had any hearing. It's the past 4 months to 5 months. By now, they should finish with whatever assets they have. Our members are dying. Our members are falling sick. Some are paralyzed. Some have strokes. Some have a lot of family issues. Some have their children at home. They are suffering. When we meet them, some we visit them. It's bad at home. They don't even have what to eat. Some are bad. Sometimes we leaders have to even issue our own money to take care of some of them. It is getting bad in the country. It's getting bad in the country.
So if we meet IOCO today, what are you expecting to hear from them?
IOCO should tell us that probably a day or two, they'll come out with a list publicly. They'll list the issue.
Now we stay with this story because just last week, some customers of Men's Gold held a demonstration in Accra over the apparent silence of government and the security agencies on the whereabouts of embattled CEO of Men's Gold, Nana Appiah-Mensah, or Nam1, who was said to be in the grips of security agencies in the United Arab Emirates, Yoko. Here's a story of Men's Gold this far. We stay with the financial sector because there was drama at the Edum branch of Gold Coast Securities as a customer stormed their premises, switched off their power supply, saying he would not allow them to work until they paid him his investment.
Would you have for sick? I know what fat. Would you have for sick? I know what fat. No, what did I buy a cafe? I buy a cafe. Would you have for sick? I know what fatty. I buy a cafe. Now, who will be no? What's our salam? My friend for crop. I pass a lie. I'm a politician. Never.
My colleague Erastus Asaridonko joins me with more on this story. Erastus, describe what happened this morning.
Well, it was great drama at the Edum branch of the Gold Coast Securities company here in Kumasi. When a customer who says he has been dealing with them for some time, he has 150,000 cedis of his money lodged with this company, and it's been due for a year now, and they keep telling him sorry. And so for 4 consistent days, he's been coming here and he's been disrupting the activities. And today he came as well, and he said he's not allowing anybody to work. He wants his money, and he wants it now. And he claims that they've been giving him a payment plan of 1 to 5 years. But his business is collapsing. He cannot wait that long, and he needs his money now. And so he switched off their main power line, and so the whole place was turned into darkness. And for close to an hour, nobody was working. And so finally, they had to close the office under lock and key, and all the officers are out now. So the office, as I'm speaking with you now, has been closed to business abruptly.
And where is this customer now?
Well, he's here with me now, and let me find out from him why he has adopted this way of taking his money.
The government of course maybe say now Medica Adia Ghana company for the bank make every man. Is a man with a limited ticket. The government of certificate are 75 so we may pass here. The ultimate idea young Pusika and find the market like a from Hama young for 1 kilo. The maximum moment years to mark. The Damo about to the Mutobia cannot be a form of certain me. It's a most can be a from mobile and Jamaloco down. The only to let it over here can be formed.
So he's saying that he's taking the case to many authorities. They are not helping him get his money. And he thinks that the only way to get his money is to disrupt their activities. And so he has caused them to lock up their offices. When they are ready to give him his money, then he's ready to allow them to operate. For now, he will not allow them to work. He will come here every single day until he gets his money.
Pardon me, Erastus, but which authorities did he say he sends this case to?
Security Agency Commission Accra. A lawyer a lawyer Chomo, that's a bank of Ponina, Obian family, Obian family, Okomzo, Yam to work here. After a mother, you from the Benjamin Philip, from a question, command Malaya, Malaya, 1 year to 5 years, payment of the care canon. Before me, this is kind of one can't have an answer. The 2 million family. The middle Canada, I'm not more catching and said, emergency prayer, see my brother man, cover money. The now emergency see my brother, see me here to come to the money. Into me, I have to present the gym carefree. I have a question to walk. The one I found it now, I just have to just can to use kind of my idea. That's a matter of bless, and you got to bank. I must pay your money. But some of the area and I found it in my family. Now I said, come to me, and I found it in my family.
Well, so you heard him. He says he's taking the case to the street. He has asked his lawyers to write the bank itself, and they have not received any proper response. Recently, the only response that came was that they gave him a payment plan of 1 to 5 years. But that goes contrary, according to him, to what agreement he had with them when he was investing his money. And they said that even in the case of emergency, he could come for his money. And so he is not accepting that payment plan. He needs his money, and he needs it now.
Thank you, Erastus. But before you go, has management been speaking to this?
Well, I spoke with a management member a short while ago, and all that he was saying was that they are registering and gathering data of all their clients, and based on how much money you have there, and depending on how big it is, then to give you a payment plan within 1 to 5 years. So if your money is huge, then it will take like 5 years before they can pay you all your money. And so they are paying in installments. But for now, they are gathering data of all their clients. And that is what has been disrupted today.
Thank you very much, Erastus Asaridonko, for that update. Now we move from the financial sector, and importers are lamenting about how high import duties are having a toll on them. They say the cedi continues to weaken against major trading currencies, especially the US dollar. The dollar now trades at 5 cedis 54 pesos. Now, President Akufo-Addo has a town hall meeting with Ghanaians residents in Worcester in the United States of America indicated that reforms to Ghana's import duty regime, which will bring down the high duties prevailing in Ghana's ports, are in the offing and will be rolled out soon. My colleague Kojo Yankson has been engaging importers.
Business people slash down their profits for markets, for the people to be happy. You see, The reason why, if my brothers will promise you and I cannot promise you, is that just a month ago, the dollar was worked at the ports. The duties was worked at the port at 5.5, 5.6, 5 point whatever. And just 3 weeks ago, by His grace and the President, the dollar has dropped.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yes, has come down to like 5.1, and I don't know what they are using for now. I come and take my goods out of the port at the rate of 5.1. Mr. Ablo took his at 5.8. I would like to reduce the commodity for the people to buy. What about Mr. Ablo? Does that mean that Mr. Ablo has to throw his money out for the public to be happy? No, we are not Father Christmas. We are set for business and we work through banks. We have interests to pay. And the way the like we were talking about one container paying 25,000, one container paying 30,000. That is about the dollar. Because if I might pay my duty on Tuesday, he's on Thursday, but because of go and come, do and this and that, all the goods might end up coming out on Friday at the gate, where there is a task force at the gate who will tell us that I won't allow this container to go out because this one paid 30,000, this one paid 25,000.
Right.
Forgetting that the customs had worked the duty based on the rates available at the moment.
So if I've understood you, then even after these reductions that the President has promised, we might still have a situation where prices don't
Yes, so that
down.
is what we are appealing to him this afternoon. That
Right.
if he wants the importers to be happy and the public to be happy, we have to go back to Parliament and work on that dollar.
Doctor.
Away from that, protecting the Osu Irrigation Dam remains a priority to the chiefs and people of the town. Open defecation and indiscriminate disposal of refuse into the dam, however, have been a major setback to keeping the dam clean and safe. Speaking to Joy News, Acting Chief of Osu, Nianan Ajo, said the phenomenon is tarnishing the image of Osu and will thus begin prosecuting offenders. Joy News' Tema correspondent Kwame Yanka has more in the following report.
The Osu Irrigation Scheme was started in 1965 and completed in 1968. The scheme has 700 meters long and 11.9 meters high earthen dam on the Jolu River to store about 5.6 millimeter of water for irrigation. There are over 150 farmers engaged in vegetable and cereal farming who benefit directly and indirectly from the dam. Expansion and settlements along the dam has brought about its attendant challenges. These include turning the area around the dam into a refuse dump, connecting sewer lines into the dam, among other unhygienic practices. Acting Chief of Osu, Nianan Ajo, says the dam has several potentials, including tourism, which can be tapped into.
I've written to the Irrigation Development Authority. I've met the MUSEC, the Chief Executive of the Security Council. We have discussed this. So we are doing this as a last program so that we'll form a task force with the help of the police and the assembly. Whoever will get here, the law must do its own work. So we are serious about that. And we are saying it to the public. When they arrest you, don't even think of coming to me. Whether you are my church member, you are my uncle's son, whoever, the law should do its work. There are about 150 farmers, registered farmers. So if each farmer have about 3-4 workers, multiply by that and see. And then market women who come and harvest their crops to go and sell. Look at the chain of work that they are producing. So it's helping a lot. Osu here, we have vegetable throughout the whole year. We have fresh corn throughout the whole year. We have rice throughout the whole year.
Some farmers in the area say it is high time authorities acted to save the dam from further pollution.
Zenu area, most of the people they pollute the water. They made the manhole straight into the dam. And if the water got polluted, I think it's not good to use it for farming again. So it should all help us to stop all those things.
The problem is, you say, you baby sisi ha no mo se ne aha no be neat within a week no baba now mo the boiler and excuse me to say toilet. Aye hanyina basa
ni aye hu ha sisi ani say mami trucks any tipper trucks no anaju na wo mu ninam dam wall no so ebi nso atwi anwea e the fa this second road yiso enti vibration no e cause damage Emma dam wall no.
Kwame Yankees report for Joy News.
Still on water, this time the water we drink, and the board chairman of the Ghana Water Company Limited is asking Parliament to support the company to stop the destruction of water bodies, which he says threatens uninterrupted supply of water to homes. Alexander Apeyomakin, who is also member of Parliament for Efutu, says illegal activities along water bodies are making it difficult for the GWCL to work effectively. His comment comes a day after residents of Sekendi Takrady complain they are facing water shortages over illegal activities along water bodies there.
For Intraban Water Treatment Plant. Intraban Water Treatment Plant has a design capacity of 4 million gallons of water per day. Currently, we are just doing around.
Joseph Opoku-Gakpo joins us live from Parliament. Joe, what were the responses to his call, Alexander Apeyomakin, and what else has been happening in the House? Right, Joseph, if you can hear me, we want to know what responses have come to the call of the Member of Parliament for Efutu and what else has been going on in the House. Right, we are finding it difficult to reach Joseph now. We would hear the Member of Parliament and then go back to him.
Who are destroying our water bodies? I'm calling on my colleagues in their various constituencies because, Mr. Speaker, if you don't get water in your constituency, you'll be up in arms against Ghana Water and the government. My respected colleague Atu Forson, in a debate on one of the heated days on this floor, had said that we have invested no less than 2 billion Ghana cedis in the water sector alone. That is true, perhaps more. But are we able to provide sufficient potable water for our people? No. So we set up the treatment plant, but we are unable to distribute. We are unable to supply regularly. We ration water. Because of that, we are even treating seawater desalination at a very high cost when you have water in abundance. No, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues who know that water is life must support this statement. It is not the rhetorics. Pay heed to the realities. Take partisan politics out, so that this country will win that war against climate change as we move on. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Joseph Opoku-Gakpo live from Parliament. Joe, what were the responses to what we just heard from the Member of Parliament, and what else is happening in the House?
So MPs are generally calling on the various security agencies and also residents in some of these water bodies to also help in clamping down on those who engage themselves in some of these illegal activities. They are, for example, referring to illegal mining activities in a lot of these areas that they say, despite the effort that has been made, a complete clamp down on them hasn't been achieved eventually. It all started as a conversation on climate change and its impact generally, and then the linkage with how water bodies are being polluted, and that is also resulting in the challenges that we face. And so the general call came. But beyond the conversation on this, the House has been considering a number of items, including a state agencies authority bill, which will see a situation where all state agencies, including we are told GradeCo and other players in the energy and other sectors, will come under a single authority once the bill that is being debated and approved comes into being later this year. And additionally, the House is still considering the Companies Act and are debating on that. We are expecting a little later in the day the oil deals between CNPC and ExxonMobil. A report on that from Parliament Committee on Mines and Energy will be laid on the floor of Parliament for debate and approval. Daniel.
Thank you very much, Joseph Opokurako, for that update. Joseph coming there from Parliament. We're going to take a few more stories before Baba brings us sports. And the Ghana Police Service has revealed that it is getting closer to finding the 3 kidnapped girls. Now, this revelation, of course, would come as a relief to many of the families of these 3 girls who are back in Takoradi demanding their return home. Now, this saga has grabbed the nation's attention for months, as you would know. Addressing the media a while ago, the Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department's DCOP Mamea Tiwa Adodankwa told reporters they know where the girls are and would soon rescue them.
Together with the BNI, we've worked very well, and currently we know where the girls are. I am unable to give the details because we don't want to compromise their safety. We are working hard together with other stakeholders so that these girls are brought back home safely. The assurance to the family is that they should keep on keeping on. The ladies, we know where they are and they are safe. So very soon they will be brought back home and they will go back to their family.
Now, the Director General also revealed investigations are ongoing into threats on the life of investigative journalist Manasseh Azuriawuni after the airing of the documentary Militia, the Heart of the Nation.
Following the airing at SYZ that some politicians were planning to kill Manasseh, and Manasseh also received some threat text messages. That case is under investigation. However, Mugabe was invited to come and assist because he provided dates that this assassination would take place. When he was invited, he said he was under the spirit. So Manasseh has been charged and is currently before court. Unfortunately, the court did not sit today. Sorry, Mugabe has been charged and he is before court. They went to court today, but the judges are having training program, so the court did not sit. Tomorrow, he will be before court.
Away from that, British High Commissioner to Ghana, Ian Walker, is urging security operatives in Africa to work together so their countries do not fall prey to terror attacks. Speaking as the 7th edition of Managing Defense in a Wider Security Context, MDWSC course, he asked participants to come up with best practices to protect citizens. Joshua Smith has more in the following report.
The British High Commissioner called on participants to use the training opportunity to share best practices on the management of defence.
This is the 8th consecutive year that we have run MDWSC here in Ghana in partnership with KIPTC. It's one of the UK's flagship defence courses, and it's proven to be an excellent means for people to increase knowledge, to share experience, and most importantly, to stimulate debates on a variety of issues linked to the management of defence as one of the most critical pillars that comprise the security apparatus. Of course, countries in West Africa continue to see developments and challenges. In the last 2 years, we've witnessed the conclusion of peacekeeping operations in Liberia and Côte d'Ivoire, both significant achievements that reflect very positive developments. Again, as I've touched on, I'm sure, very sure that people in this room will know much more about things. In Burkina Faso, a country to which I'm also non-resident ambassador, the delivery of security for the population remains a very real challenge. Again, I'm sure there'll be lots of discussion of that during the next 2 weeks.
He said terrorism remains a very real threat in Africa.
Terrorism remains such a very real threat in the region and in the broader global context, in which the G5 Sahel countries have reacted with the establishment of the G5 Sahel force, supported by the UK and by many other international partners. We also know that many countries are seeking to develop this capacity whilst simultaneously seeking to manage some challenging economic, social and security challenges. And this can be seen in other parts of the world also. But you know and I know that the first responsibility of any government, irrespective of any of those challenges, is to protect